Hello, in today's video, we're going to talk everything Google Slides. I am going to show you the basics of Google Slides and how you can get started with it, but I'm also going to teach you how to make your slides interactive and fun for your students or your children. So first things first, you're going to want to open up Google Slides. To do that, you can open up Google and either type in Google Slides and it'll come up with a link for it, or there's these 9 dots over here that are Google Apps, and you'll scroll down till you find Google Slides. Once you get into Google Slides, it'll pop up with your files, which if you haven't done Google Slides, it won't show anything. And it'll have start a new presentation, and you'll go ahead and start with a blank presentation. So here is my blank presentation to start out with. Sorry about that. On the right side, you will have something that looks like this, and it will pop up with themes right away. You can choose a theme if you're interested in one. They have some good ones. I personally like to create my own theme. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. And to do that, you want to click up your background, and you can make it a color, or you can choose an image. And from there, you can choose your image from all sorts of different places, but I'm going to upload it from my computer. I'm going to browse my folders, and luckily it has it right up here, my custom chevron backgrounds, and I'm going to choose this gray one to put on the background. The really nice thing about creating a background image, or even just taking a background image from Google, is that it is set. You cannot move it. So when you are working in your slides, that is something that is really, really nice to have, that you can't move the background. So I really highly recommend making it your background and not inserting an image, that it just will not be locked that way. So this is just more helpful in the long run. So next I'm going to create a shape that comes in the middle, so it'll look like there's a border. The text box I want exactly in the middle, and if you just saw, there's these red lines that show up that will tell you if you're in the middle. I'm in the middle, perfect. If that is too hard, you can go up to arrange, and you can center on page horizontally and vertically, and then that'll just make sure it's right in the middle of the page. I want to make sure that the border is black, the weight is 4, and I want this white. So see right there, it already looks so much better. It's popping out. It is my own theme, and that is what it's going to stay with for the theme of this slideshow. I am going to make this shape have some dashes through it. I think it makes it look a little bit more fun, personally. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and click on your slide that's over on the left. You'll know when it's clicked when it has this orange little circle around the slide. You're going to hit Control C to copy the slide, and then go ahead and hit Control V. It's going to pop up an exact replica of the slide that you just did. That way you have a slide, a blank slide that you can just copy and paste to create more slides, depending on how much your presentation is going to be. If it's only one slide, then it's not a big deal. You don't need to do that. But if I'm going to be working with multiple slides, sometimes I get carried away and then I'm like, oh no, I don't have a blank space to work with and I have to copy it, and it just makes it harder. So I just right away create an extra slide. So for this one, we'll do some sort of calendar interactive slideshow. So to start, I'm going to insert a text box, and the text box is right next to the cursor It has a T on it and it does say text box. I'm going to write calendar. I want a fun font. I typically like this font as the title. And you can change the font right here. You can scroll through different fonts, or at the top you can hit this more fonts. It'll come up with a list of a whole bunch more fonts, and you just click on it and hit OK if that's what you want. I've already pre-selected my fonts, so they're already good to go. Then you can change the size of your font, and that's just going to be right next to the font. And 100 seems big and good. Perfect. And now I want this calendar to be in the middle. I'm going to hit arrange center on page horizontally, not vertically, because I don't want it in the middle. I just want it on the top in the middle. All right, so that is calendar. That's what that will look like. And we will maybe add another text box right here. And this one, I'm going to put a border on this one because this is when the interactive is going to start. I'm going to change the font size to, we'll see if 30 is big enough. It probably won't be. And come over to this align button. It's right here. And I'm going to center this one both horizontally and vertically inside the text box. So that way it's in the middle. Great, good to go. We are going to do, actually, before I get started typing, I'm going to copy this text box, Control C, and now I'm going to paste it, Control V, so that the different choices are on there, and then I will go in and write. So we will do the number of the week. It is a little bit too big, the font size, and I'm just going to adjust it one at a time until I get it to how I like. Don't forget to highlight the words. I think that is good. 28. We'll do shape of the week. Same thing. I might want a different font for this. I'm going to make it all 28 just to keep it consistent, and we're going to do letter of the week. Perfect. I'm going to make these boxes different colors because will be different tasks for them. Number of the week will be that color. We'll do that color for the shape, and no, nope, don't like it. There we go. Got blue, reddish pink, and then yellow. So now I have the format of the first slide. The next slide, I'm going to start working on the number of the week. But I want to make sure that when I click on the number of the week, it is going to go to the next slide. The very first step to do this is you're going to insert a shape. And you're going to cover the entire slide with this shape. You're going to make it transparent, the fill color, because you don't want to see it. Same with the border color, transparent. You do not want to see it. But I do want to make sure that these, I'm going to keep it highlighted just so you guys can see that the text box is still there. when I click away. So when you insert an item, it automatically brings it to the front very first thing. You see that I cannot click on this shape because of this text box is covering it. So I moved it up so that I can click on all 3 of these shapes because that's what I want them to click. We're going to hit Control and then just click on the shapes that you want to move. This will make it so you can move them all together. But in this case, I'm going to bring them forward. So what you want to do is go up to Arrange, Order, Bring to Front. So now we have the text box or that shape in the back of it, so that if you were to click on something on this slide, you'll only be able to click on these 3 things. You can't change calendar anymore. You can't change this text box that has the border. It is only the large shape in the background and these 3 things, so that your student or a child can't stem off of the surrounding stuff in presentation mode. And you'll see what I mean later on if you don't understand. So I'm going to link number of the week to slide number 2. So what that's going to look like is you're going to click on that text box. If you see that it is clicked and then you have the bar there ready to type, it will be funky and won't work the way that you'll want it to. You want to click only on the box. Make sure that that typing cursor is not there. You'll go up to Insert, a link, and you'll link it to slides in this presentation, and you'll go to slide number 2, Apply. So now this, when you click on it, when you present it, you'll click on number of the week and it'll go straight to the second slide. The shape of the week, we are going to link with slide number 3. Insert, link. There is a shortcut. You can hit Control K. Slides in this presentation. We're going to go to slide 3. Apply. Make sure you hit apply. If you don't hit apply, it's not going to work. And for this one, we're going to use the shortcut Control K. It automatically pops up the link, slides in this presentation, and we're going to link it to slide 4. All right, just so you'll see that it works, I will present it to you, but I'm going to paste these ones on the correct slide so that you know that it went to the correct slide. So we are going to present. Normally when you present, if you do not have that shape in the background, if you click anywhere, it'll automatically go to the next slide, just like it just did. I forgot to add the step of in the first slide, that shape, you also have to link it. This is the important part. I'm so sorry that I forgot that step. Control K, link this slide to the slide that it is currently on. So since we're on slide 1, we're going to link that shape in the background to slide 1. Now, when I present it and I click on outside space, you will not move because we are linked to slide 1. But did you see how before, if I didn't link it, it automatically went to the next slide, and I do not want that. So any space right here, it'll stay on the same page. Now when you hit the correct slide, when you hit on one of these 3 buttons, it'll link it to whatever slide that you wanted. Let's go to letter of the week. And there it is. It linked right there. We'll go back to the beginning and we can do same thing. We'll do number of the week this time. Now it goes to this slide. And then shape of the week. It goes to that slide. So you see how that you just make it interactive? So for this slide that has the number of the week on it, you can insert different numbers, different buttons that they can press. We're gonna make it I'm just aligning it. I'm changing my font size. I'm just changing it exactly how I want it so that I can Control C, copy it, and Control V, paste it, and have different numbers. And I'm just going to paste a bunch of different text boxes like this. You can do the layout however you want. I'm going to do 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, and 5. So now when you present the calendar, you can say, Joey, can you come point to number of the week? He'll hopefully click on number of the week, and then you'll ask the class, what's the number of the week? And you'll say, the number of the week is 2. And then they can click on the 2, and you can link that to another slide. But don't forget, you want to have this shape in the background that links. The nice thing about Google Slides, as I've found, is I can Control C, copy this shape from the first slide. It's already linked and everything. We're going to paste it, Control V, to this current slide. Now it is popped up, but like I said, anytime you insert something, it's always going to bring it to the front. So these numbers, we will not be able to press. So I'm going to shrink the shape, bring these ones forward, Control Shift up arrow is bring to front. That's a shortcut for it. I'm going to make this shape large again. And now on this slide, I don't have to link the shape in the background because it is already linked and it will already link it to the correct slide you're in. So that is super nice, super handy. I love doing it. If it makes it better to have that very first thing for you, go for it. For me, it's just in my head makes more sense to link everything at the end when everything's done. It's a little bit more work that way, but I just prefer it that way. So now we want to make a new slide. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. I get so caught up in what I'm doing, and now if I were to click a new slide, it's not going to have my background, and I'm going to Control copy just a different slide. I'm going to get rid of that. Put a couple in the back here. So now you'll link number of the week. You'll have, let's say he chooses 1. So you want to link Control K, number 1 to slide 3. That will have a big giant 1. And you guys can talk about it in class. You can have them draw the number 1, however you want to do it. Perfect. So now it's linked, and you can then make another slide that has a link to 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have the numbers go up all the way. I'm not going to do it for time's sake. And then you can do the same thing for shapes of the week and insert just different shapes so that they can click on, and you can make these links as well. You can change the colors of them by filling in different colors, just like that. And same thing with the letters, is you can do A from Z just in different slides and link it to different slides. If you are like, you know what, I really need a back button or something that can bring you back to the beginning of the slide if you're like on slide 50 and you're like, help, I need to go back to the very beginning, got messed up somehow. You can just insert a shape like an arrow or a circle. The shapes you can type in, the colors. You can say back and link that back button to slide 1. So now when you're in presentation mode, your number of the week brings you to the number of the week. And sorry, give me a second. Now, okay, you go to the number of the week and you'll be able to go back to slide 1. And it keeps doing that. Do you see what I'm saying about this typing cursor? If it is in there, it's going to pop up slide number, whatever it was, in the word, and you don't want that. That is what was happening to me, is I wasn't clicking shape itself. I was clicking on the word. So you have to be careful with that. Now it should be good to go. One more time, number of the week. Perfect. This is when you can go back to the beginning, or it'll link you to the whatever slide that you had linked. Those are the basics and how to make your Google Slides interactive. I have already made a fun calendar for my students. It is on my Teachers Pay Teachers account. Super fun, interactive, starting off with calendar, and they can choose the day of the week, or you can, today happens to be Monday, so I click on Monday and it will go to the Monday slide, and I have the buttons to say forward, back, and you can go to the next one. This month is October, brings you to the month of October, and it just goes through things. So check it out on my Teachers Pay Teachers store. My store is called Little Light Designs. And I just want to thank you so much for listening to the basics of Google Slides and how to make it interactive. I hope that that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below for me, and I will try my best to answer them. Thank you so much.